Good Wednesday evening to you. No crazy, right? New location, the bar. Now broadcasting live from the metropolis of the city of Gainesville. Excited to be here. I'm in my new bar room, and you can see we're still a little under construction here as we continue to move forward, but excited to be a part of things. Excited now to be completely situated and stationed in Gainesville and Harp on Sports, the bar. Harp on Sports Audio and Media Network will continue to roll along. We'll get you your podcasts middle of the week and at the end of the week, weekends, still looking for that Wednesday, Sunday cycle. I would have had one for you Sunday, but kind of moving in and trying to get as much stuff situated as possible. So here we are. Well, what do we have in store for you on this episode of The Bar? Well, first of all, a long day. So here we go on this front. All right. In the meantime, you can follow us social media at Harp on Sports Instagram, at Harp on Sports Twitter, Harp on Sports Facebook page, harponsports.com. You can listen to our podcast, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts. Let's see here. Do Buzzsprout. We're pretty much everywhere at this point in time. So what do we have in store for you? A little Sunshine State Sigh, some Jacksonville junk, and pumping the primer. We'll start off first with a little Sunshine State Sigh. The Governor DeSantis, coming out and saying that all professional teams are welcome here. If you have a professional sports team, Florida can be your home. We want to be your home. Wait a second. Weren't we 2 weeks ago stopping people at the border? Weren't we? A couple weeks ago, weren't we here stopping people from Georgia coming across the border? Now the state of Florida wants to be the home of every professional sports team. If your state doesn't want you, we'll take you. Now, look, this is grandstanding at its finest. Nothing more, nothing less. This is grandstanding. How much truth is in this? Not a lot. Not a lot. What's going to happen? The Arizona Diamondbacks are going to pick up and relocate to Florida. We'll find room for you. We'll find room for you. The one thing that Florida does have is a ton of spring training facilities and locations, and they'd be able to pull something like this off. You bet they would. You bet they would. Should they? No. No. This thing that has enveloped the country has really unveiled the character of a lot of people and the foolishness of a lot of people. Look at the people from the beginning that said this wasn't going to be a big deal. Bet you they've been wrong every single step of the way. First it was not going to be a big deal. Then, it's kind of a big deal. And then it's, China's fault. And then it turned into, pre-existing conditions. Pre-existing conditions are what's going to get you with this. And every single time it changed. I'm not wearing a mask. Wait a second. The entire White House has to wear a mask? Same thing over and over and over again. Now, we're whistling a different tune here in Florida. We went from, you can't come across the border in Florida now, send all your professional teams down here. Why not? What's the worst that can happen? What's amazing about this is, again, it's grandstanding A. B, how little regard we have for athletes. How little regard people have for athletes. Treat them like livestock. They do. People treat them like livestock. Just perform for me. Show up. Essentially, athletes are no different than performers at a circus. Get back to your cage. Come out of your cage. Play your sports. Go back to your cage. Well, you could sequester them. You could put them in an isolation. And, what about their family? Sons, daughters? These athletes have kids, families. You don't care? Yeah, you don't care. You just want your sports. Don't care about them. I do. I've got to know some of them over the years. Make a lot of money. They do. But that doesn't mean you can put them in a hotel room for 4 straight months so you can get sports. And the fact that the governor said this today, come on down. We'll take you. We'll take all your people. Come on, play. Come here. Come here. Come to Florida. Come here. Play in Florida. You bet. How about no? No. I'm just every day. This thing doesn't. It just nothing surprises me anymore. So, Governor DeSantis, I know what you're doing. I know what you're trying to do. It's grandstanding at its finest, and you want to fall for it, go for it. Smart people aren't going to fall for this. Hey, look, we're open for business. Anybody wants to come down here and play, we're open for business. Okay. Stop people at the border 2 weeks ago. Now you're open for business for all the professional sports teams. What if the Yankees wanted to come down here and play? You good? You cool? What about the Mets? You cool with the Mets? Huh? Nobody from New York can come here, but come on down, Mets. It's garbage. Garbage. So, good God. If I hear any more grandstanding, I'm going to puke. The next thing on the docket, a little Jacksonville junk. Good gracious, why is it always the same people? Mayor Curry in Jacksonville wants to ask the city for $2.2 million from the general fund for stadium improvements at TIAA Bank Field. You know what those stadium improvements are? Right now, when what? How many million Americans are out of work? How many, what 50? Is it 50 million Americans are out of work? We're losing trillions of dollars. Trillions. And the mayor is going to ask the city of Jacksonville for $2 million, $2.2 million for what? For new LED lighting, escalator and elevator renovations. I'm not kidding you. And drainage repairs, the football stadium and TIAA Bank Field. Let that sink in for a minute. Let that sink in. The mayor of Jacksonville is going to ask the city emergency funds $2.2 million for updated LED lights for this upcoming season. LED lights, escalator and elevator renovations, and drainage. Not sewage, drainage. 8 games. 8 games. By the way, if you're socially distancing, guess what? Not going to have that many people going up the escalator and elevators anyway, aren't you? And LED lights? LED lights inside the stadium. LED lights. Well, it's just to keep up with NFL protocol and NFL standards. Nice try. Think the NFL, what's the NFL going to do? Kick you out of the league if you don't update the LED lights during a pandemic? This is garbage. Just garbage. It's pure just nonsense at this point. There's no money for that. $2.2 million. City of Jacksonville. $2.2 million. And what happens is kind of this nonsense with these flyovers by the Blue Angels. What, those Blue Angel flyovers cost what, like 30, 40 grand per flyover? Well, you know how much money the government wastes, Seth. Oh, when it's wasting money for something you want. $30,000 could have been $1,000 for 30 families. I know. What a noble concept. Could have bought Lysol and disinfectant for a city. Bottle of Lysol disinfectant. Every door. Could have been something along those lines. Something. Been more beneficial than watching blue planes fly over. Oh, yeah, look at the planes. Blue Angels. Yeah, man, now look at the planes. It's inspiring. Not by any measure. We waste money on things. So let's not waste money on things. And I'm sorry, TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville getting LED lights, upgrades. This is just today. This is what's going on right now. We're talking about sports starting. Maybe they're not going to start. What's going to happen? Are there going to be fans in the stands? And the mayor in Jacksonville, I kid you not, mayor of Jacksonville is going to have the balls to get up in front of the city council and ask for $2.2 million in funding for new LED lights and elevator and escalator maintenance and repair. You can actually have the balls to do that. Actually going to do it. Like, is he actually going to do that? Oh, he is? Well, you don't understand. You're right. I don't. I'll admit it. I don't understand when cities and people are struggling as much as they are, that you need $2.2 million from a city's general fund to change light bulbs and allow lazy people to go up and down escalators and elevators. What if you have a knee condition? Well, guess what? I guess we can open up half the elevators and escalators then. Don't need to use them all. You're not cramming 70,000. Look, what am I even saying? You never have 70,000 people in there anyway, unless it's a Florida-Georgia game. So stop it. Garbage, 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 and more garbage out of Jacksonville. And, you know, you elect incompetence and you elect people to just say things. It's like you're not going to be able to do any of that stuff. People that just say things. Talky, 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 talk. Talky, talky. People that just say things. You're like, there's not going to be able to do any of that stuff. You know, that whole thing, the wall just got a foot higher because you're talking trash. You ain't going to be able to do any of that. Look at that. How's that working out for us? It's all garbage. And now, you know, you have people that you elect. You're like, oh, I like what he says. That's not realistic. It'd be like me running for public office. I'm going to give each of you $100,000. And you're going to have awesome jobs. And you're all going to get as many hot chicks as you want. Vote for me. Yeah, it sounds pretty good. Yeah, it sounds pretty good because it can't happen. What George Carlin used to say, that's why they call it the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it. It's where we are now with this stuff. Somebody tells you something, it's like, I can't believe he didn't fulfill those campaign promises. Really? It's like your nephew saying when he grows up he wants to be a dinosaur. You're shocked that it didn't happen? Good God. So there we go. The mayor, I know, is just a riveting podcast. Isn't just a lot of excitement just flowing through my veins as I do my first one for my new bar here in in Gainesville. I got to get this right, man. Too much Jacksonville on the mind. So the mayor of Jacksonville wants $2.2 million for flashing new lights on the scoreboards and LED system. You know, get up with the NFL code. NFL code. It's what it is. NFL code. NFL code. What are they going to do? Fine you? What are they going to do? We got to get up with the NFL code. Nice try. No, not falling for that. 2.2 million. If anybody on the city council votes for that, you guys are clowns. Be adults. Somebody, come on. Somebody have the. I love sports. It's my job. But I'm smart enough to go around going, you know what? Maybe we just don't need to buy certain amount of things. That's what happened with me before I came here. Is I job interview looking at things. I'm like, you know what? Maybe Seth doesn't need to buy some things right now. Whatever those buying of things may be. You know what I've been buying the last few months? Food, fuel for my car, paying bills. Bought anything. Haven't bought a single thing other than things I already had, you know. Even things that broke. When I moved, I had a dresser that broke. It was old from college. It was a spare dresser I used to store things. It broke. Okay, I'm not going to buy another dresser right now. I'm going to be smart about some of this stuff. And in the city of Jacksonville, $2.2 million for stadium renovations, elevator, escalator maintenance, and new LED lights, drainage. You could sell me on the drainage. Maybe you could sell me on the drainage. If it's sewer related backups, maybe. But if you're socially distanced, what type of nonsense is that? So, way to go, Jacksonville. Good God. Embarrassing. Seth Harp on Sports, the podcast, the bar. The third thing I wanted to hit on, because this one is going to not necessarily bother people, but, you know, a lot of people love hot dogs, bratwurst, but you don't want to see how the sausage is made. It's a whole line. I love steak, but I don't want to meet the cow. Now, Joe Buck of Fox Sports came out and said, you know what? Yeah, virtual fans, if we're going to do this social distance thing, we're going to put virtual fans in the stands, and we're going to pump in crowd noise. How could they? What do you mean? It's not going to sound natural. You're going to be at home. You're not going to know the difference. You're not going to know the difference. You're not. We've all seen movies. When Indiana Jones, when Harrison Ford punches something in Raiders of the Lost Ark or Indiana Jones in the Last Crusade, you know what that is? That's a baseball bat hitting a leather jacket. That's what that boop sound is. You know, Star Wars, the lightsabers. You know, the guns. That is, you've seen those big steel wires that come off electrical grids. Ding, ding, that's what that is with the speed rate adjusted. Most of the things sound-wise. Ever watch one of my favorite shows of all time, Seinfeld? Watch TV show ever? Of course you have. That laugh track? Some things built from a live studio audience. Some things weren't. Those laugh tracks kind of pumped in a bit. So they're going to pump in crowd noise. How's that any different than pumping in a laugh track on a sitcom? You're watching a show. It's a performance. It's entertainment. It may be live. Still entertainment. Do you know those graphics that are along the bottom of the screen with point totals? You know that's not really on the court or on the field, right? Those are graphics. It's not real. It's not. You know the background? You've seen baseball games? Of course you've seen baseball games on TV. Do you know there's a green rectangle, green screen behind home plate that they rotate ads on? It's not real. No, it's not. So now the crowd noise is going to be fake? You're not going to know the difference. You're not. It's going to make a difference for teams. I'm going to tell you about that coming up here in a second. But so what? They're going to pump in crowd noise. So what? They're going to have virtual fans in the stands. So what? You want sports back no matter what, right? Yeah. Do you want production value with this sport? Because if it's not, you're going to have squeakers, sneakers squeaking in basketball and whistles in football. And, oh, my God, you want to hear about how it's really going to change teams' effects and everything? Think about NFL systems. Remember Peyton Manning a couple years ago? Omaha, and everybody said it over and over and over again? That was him at the top of his young yelling. Guess what? You're going to hear every call. You're going to hear every signal. You're going to hear every single adjustment. Sometimes, when you hear an NBA player or hear somebody dunk, and there's a microphone under the basket that picks up the audio and the noise. Every now and then in the NFL, when somebody scores a touchdown or they get to the sidelines, they have those big circular audible globes, half globes, that you see somebody in the side to pick up sound, those sound cubes. That's when you have 80,000 fans in a murmur. When nobody's around, ooh, baby. So every cadence, blue 16, check 138.1, all those, everything that you hear, oh my gosh, you have to change it every week. Silent hand counts. You don't need to do so many things in the NFL, so many things that took place in football were done on silent cadences. Not now. You don't need them. Nobody's around. So your playbook and things that you use, you're going to have to change it all. So much more of an advantage for road teams. Oh my gosh. This is the year you want to have a nightmare road. This is the year you want to have a nightmare road schedule. Because how's it any different? You're dislocated, they're dislocated. It's not different at all. It actually helps you. More so in years past. Can you imagine going to Alabama and playing with nobody around? Or at least a socially distant population? So, wow. As I watch this unfold and start to look at this layer, and Joe Buck going to pump in crowd noise, going to have simulated fans in the stands. So over the years, I know the Falcons have gotten in trouble for it. I know the Redskins have gotten in trouble for it. Did the Colts get in trouble for it? If they did in Indianapolis, my apologies. Pumping in crowd noise, where they would take crowd noise and pump it in through the speakers back over. People have been doing this for years. They have. Teams have been pumping in crowd noise, artificial noise for years. Think about music, then the background encouraging you to clap. It's artificial, isn't it? Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're going to pump in crowd noise. And happens all the time. You just don't know it. Again, sanctimonious about this. You want sports back. It's going to look different. It's going to feel different. They're going to try to make it look and feel as real as possible, but you're not going to be able to simulate that. You're not. But half the things in movies, sound effect wise, that you think are real aren't. They're not. Again, Indiana Jones punching somebody, Harrison Ford. In all of those movies, you know what that sound effect is? It's a baseball bat and a leather jacket. It is. Was it walking on? Oh, walking on gravel. Is it like hands in marbles? I can't remember the exact sound effect that is used to create that. Things that you think are real art, they're not. So it's just another form of entertainment. So there you go, a little pump in the primer is they're going to pump in crowd noise and, digitally affect the, oh my God, they're going to change the digital landscape of a stadium to make it look like their fans there. Be a pleasant improvement for most teams in sports. All right, here we go. Harp on Sports, the bar, Harp on Sports, the podcast from my new location here in Gainesville. Thanks for being a part of it, and thanks for being patient through this transition. When's my show going to start? It's going to start in July. Still picking out a date when it's going to start in July. We'll be back on the radio in July. In the meantime, I'll be filling in as I serve as the operations coordinator, program director at ESPN 98.1 and 8:50 a.m. WRUF, home of the Florida Gators. But my show's going to launch in July. I'm filling in for the guys as they take vacations over the summer and what have you. And then, mid-July, we'll launch that baby back up. But you'll be able to check it out then. Going to keep this podcast going. Going to keep this Facebook Live series going again. At Harp on Sports Twitter. At Harp on Sports Instagram. Harp on Sports Facebook page. Let's see here. harponsports.com. Boom, 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 boom. This show is available via audio only on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. It's been a long day, as you can see. My brain's working here. Let's see, where else are we? Buzzsprout and the Harp on Sports YouTube page. So there we go. Like, follow, share, follow, like, all that. I'd really appreciate it. Everybody enjoy. Well, here, as we hit the mid stages of May, look forward to talking with you this weekend. You've been listening and watching The Bar on the Harp on Sports audio and media network. Cheers.